What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Juice is Loose podcast, number 66. The podcast that's first and foremost about having fun. Actually, it's first and foremost about gaming. Heavy emphasis on having fun. And we're going to try to do that yet again for everybody watching. So, got some guests here. We got people making some returns after missing last week. And we'll start out with Mr. Titty Flops.
As a T, how y'all doing? Glad to be back and watch Terminator Juice completely fail at his own slogan again.
I went back to the original one, and after I've changed it.
Okay.
Either way, we're about having fun while talking about games. So either way, it's just not sure.
It
what
sounds like a cop out, but all right. We'll
he keeps spackling and pasting over it. Just leave it alone and walk away.
So next up, since you can hear him, the man with the contagious laugh.
Oh, is that me? I guess. I didn't realize it was contagious.
This fool don't even know his own cue. All right,
I didn't realize
this over.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's the same Game Freak. I would have been on the last cast, but apparently they wanted to do this while I was at work and inconvenienced the fuck out of me. But it's all right. It's cool.
Yeah, I forgot to explain. I had my brother's birthday. We got together with the family, had pizza, and so I didn't get home till like 8 p.m. So I had to do it early. Forgot to mention that last week for anyone that was wondering.
I know I was sitting there in my office looking at my computer. I'm like, oh, see, he started. I guess.
Yeah, because
next week. All right, I got you. All right, Juice, I got you.
I didn't want to do it late and then miss.
I don't want your excuses.
Miss the premiere of Supergirl. I didn't want to wait to watch that.
Oh wow! All right. Just go. Move on.
And last but not least, we have the guy who loves everything.
What is up, guys? It is Weird 360 with me, or Robert, and I'm here. Yeah.
I thought that was going to be more than that. I'm very disappointed.
We're really excited to have you back on the Juice Loose, Robert. So, last week, we were talking about how Ms. T and Terrell both missed out. I'm wondering if you guys listened and played along, if you kind of kept track of what your scores might have been, had you been a part of the podcast. We played the game.
I think I watched about half of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing, and I didn't keep track of my scores, but I know I would have won.
I figured you would have. Were you shocked by some of the?
I was kind of shocked
by some of the games that in franchises that we never played.
Chibi Robo, come on, no, not that one. Oh my gosh, now I can't even remember which one.
Oz never played the Metroid Prime series.
Yes, my jaw was on the floor.
We had a couple people I never played Mario Party.
Oh yeah, and you and Mario Party.
I don't understand that. That's just kind of.
I might have played it like for a split second at someone's house one day, but
you blacked out for a minute.
Yeah.
You touched the controller.
I didn't count that. So anyway, yeah, last week's for those that listened, I ended up with 0 points. So I'm the biggest pretendo out of all.
Expose yourself. I didn't like some of the points deductions on some of the games.
I kind of gave in on a couple of them. I thought Metroid Prime Trilogy should have been 3 separate games, about 280 points, I think. But I agreed to count it as one just because I was being nice. But yeah, it was interesting. So maybe we'll have to do that with a different lineup of guests. I'll do that again someday. But so yeah, let's get on to tonight's podcast. Real quick, did anybody play in the Splatfest on Halloween?
I did, because I had to represent Pirates, because that's that whole Naruto versus One Piece debate, and One Piece, we pulled it out like we were supposed to. My fellow Pirates, let's go!
Yeah, I was a pirate. I didn't pick until that afternoon, and I already heard that ninjas were the overwhelming.
Yeah, they were. They was like 72%.
Because people were like, oh, I can't find a match with any pirates. So I was like, well, I'll be pirates, and I'm guaranteed to have a match every time. And turned out we won. And I only played the pirate defender. I got like 35 some points. in the defense. You need 50 to move on to champion or whatever it is. So I only played for like an hour and 10 minutes, but I had fun, and it was nice to get my second win in the Splatfest. So it was my first one I played though, really since
Transformers,
I think. So I might have dabbled a little. I can't remember. There was two in between. I can only remember the planes versus trains. I don't remember.
It was the car versus.
Or car versus plane. Wasn't there another one earlier this month or earlier in October?
Oh,
no, I thought they might have been doing like one a month. I think.
It's only been like once a month.
Well, they did two. They did the one, and I didn't think they were going to do a Halloween one, so I was mad. So I didn't play in the one. It was like early October, the first couple days. But so anyway, Pirates won. Robert, did you play at all?
I only played like 3 matches. I was a ninja, but I got. Obviously, we lost. I mean, regardless, I only played 3 matches, so I didn't spend much time with it.
They definitely, like we talked about, they do them too often. They lost their appeal to me.
I think it's partially because of the sea snails, which was like the way you could upgrade your outfits and whatnot. And I feel like that's part of the reason why they do them so consistently.
They were too generous with them, though. I mean, I have every piece of equipment I want up to have all, the extra slots added, and I got leftover, what are the sea snails or whatever?
Yeah.
So I think they just too generous with those, and it kind of defeats the excitement, I think. But it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted like zombies versus vampires or something.
Well, they had that in Europe. They had a zombies versus I forget. I think
you gotta have vampires.
Skeletons. It was zombies versus skeletons, I believe.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have it? Zombies and vampires are the two biggest trends.
Which is funny because that Splatfest doesn't start until like next week, I think.
I mean, you
Vampires
got,
and werewolves.
but zombies are huge. They're everywhere, like in shows, movies, and vampires with Twilight, with Vampire Diaries on CW. There's an ever-present. There's always something vampires on.
Yeah,
whether
but
it's a movie.
we all have skeletons.
Who said Twilight?
Hey, I'm just saying.
Those aren't vampires in Twilight.
Yeah, those are diamond encrusted immortals. But anyway, let's get on to the next topic, and that's going to be the Sony Paris Games Week press conference. We're not going to break it down. We're not going to talk about it too long. I just want to know if you guys have watched any of it, if you had a highlight or 1 or 2 highlights. And then maybe a low light or something that disappointed you. So I know Robert, you were checking it out, so we'll go to you first.
So I don't remember everything there already, but it was still awesome. I actually really liked it. Not surprisingly.
just stop. Just stop. Every time, man.
But they actually had, obviously, there were a lot of games we don't even know what the hell is going to be, like Matterfall or Detroit Become Human. But the VR things is getting me so hyped, man. There's like a dinosaur game called Robinson the Journey on VR, and it's like, man, dude, if I could, it's the closest to Jurassic World in VR, and so that would be awesome. So
you do know like that's going to cost a whole nother console price.
I know.
I'm sure your parents will buy it for you, but
no, I'm gonna buy it with my own money.
Why are you always clowning this man?
I'm gonna buy it with my own money.
This dude, man, gimmicks. That's a gimmick. I'm sorry, VR is a gimmick.
But I know me personally. I know I'm gonna spend like 12 hours just looking around in Robinson the Journey.
It's gonna be so bad for your eyes in the long run too.
Well, my eyes could just get lasered over and over again.
Robert, trust me, you're not going to spend 12 hours.
No, you're not.
It's disorienting to spend 12 minutes in that thing.
No, you gotta understand. I don't get sick for anything. Like seriously, I could go on loops.
Have you tried it? Did you try it at Comic-Con?
Yeah, I did try it. I did try it, and it doesn't get me sick or anything. Like I'm one of those weird people that don't get sick at all for like I don't get nauseous. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna be perfectly fine with this stuff. I'm gonna be playing 12 hours. My neck is gonna break one day, but it's gonna be awesome with dinosaurs. So I'm gonna.
And like after an hour, that it's gonna wear out.
Boring, man. Boring.
Yeah, It's just like they're using the gamepad to do the virtual tours and stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna wear off pretty quick. But anyway,
now with games like rigs.
Besides VR, was there another?
Yeah. Obviously there was more Ratchet and Clank, which I'm excited for that. They showed the Uncharted 4 multiplayer. Not really. It was kind of more like CGI sort of stuff. But they're kind of showing what they're gonna have in the multiplayer. But other than that, and of course Until Dawn: Rush of Blood. That's one of the VR games also. But yeah, I think mostly he was just talking about VR. So
was there something that you didn't like?
Disappointed? I guess you could say No Man's Sky. It's still the same thing. So.
No Gameplay Sky?
When is that game coming out, by the way?
June 2016.
My God!
Now they're talking about the PS4 version might be in trouble. So.
It was supposed to come out this fall.
Yeah, about to say it got delayed again? Jesus.
Yep.
They show basically the same thing yet again.
Who's working on it? Miitomo? Jesus.
Is it the third or fourth? That'd
be a game if he was working on it.
Yeah, I think that's the fourth time we've seen basically the same trailer.
I don't even care about the game anymore.
No Man's Sky is a joke at this point.
I don't even care about the game anymore.
You point that out to these fanboys, and they don't want to hear it,
But that's console exclusive. It's console exclusive PS4.
They get upset. They get upset when you point that out to these fanboys.
All right, so I didn't watch the press conference because I think Sony has the worst presenters. Their E3s are just they're agonizingly awkward to watch. These guys are just terrible speakers. I don't know if they had the same people on stage as they do at E3, but I did watch a lot of the trailers and stuff. And really, the only thing that was a highlight for me was Gravity Rush 2.
Oh yeah, that was
from a visual art style standpoint. I'm not sure what the gameplay, if that's going to be fun or intriguing to me at all. But the art style, just blows me away. It's one of the coolest art styles I've ever seen, and I really. Fallen for it. It's not just because it's graphics. I'm sure, it is visually impressive. I'm sure technically too, but it's just the art style itself. And then the low point for me was no Gameplay Sky, showing that again. And the other thing, Ratchet and Clank got pretty hyped up, and to me, I played the demo at Best Buy, and it's just mediocre controls, and the gameplay is not really that interesting to me. I've never been a huge fan, and it looked like basically more of the same. So that didn't really win me over. It didn't improve. It didn't look any better to me than it had previously. So I guess those would be my summary. I don't know, Ms. T or Terrell, if you caught any of that.
Yeah, I caught some of it when I found out. What game is that? Nier. I found out that was being developed by Platinum Games, and automatically I went, all right, you got my attention.
Yeah, the gameplay looks great, but it's just generic robot, very generic looking, simplistic robot enemies. I don't know if those are placeholders or.
Well, this is the first gameplay footage we're even seeing of it, so I'm gonna just kind of wait until Judgment. I'm gonna wait later. I'm gonna keep my eye on the game. If we're talking about games that. I was just the combat looked cool, and I like the way it played. So for right now, it's just kind of you got my attention. Next time I see it, it's cool. Gravity Rush is the same. Gravity Rush looks cool, and then I found out we're getting the first game too. So that'll give me a chance to play the first game, see if I like it. Then I can test the second game. Nothing really else that I was hyped about, and then as far as disappointment, anything VR related, that's. I have no interest in VR whatsoever. Then again, I wear glasses, and I feel like it's gonna be a pain in the ass for me anyway. So.
Yeah, I have zero interest in VR. That's kind of why.
I to explain the VR thing to Robert because he just he don't understand. We were your age, or well, at least me and Juice were.
Yeah.
Your age, roughly when VR. The gimmick happened the first time.
Yeah.
It was the mid '90s, and it quickly fizzled because people realized that nobody was going to sit there for long periods of time with that device on their heads, and the gimmick of it doesn't add anything to gameplay for video games. I can see it in applications.
Flight training.
That'd be cool. Yeah, like that tour stuff. That would be. I think that would be cool. Like you can go on a virtual tour. But for video games, it's gimmicky because all you're doing is looking around, and that's going to quickly wear off.
Yeah, it's just like moving the camera.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's just a first-person mode, really close up to your face.
Yeah.
I kind of like.
And I know it's exciting. We get that too. Everybody was talking VR in '96, '95. Everybody wanted to do it. You had it in all these different movies.
Yep.
There was people doing, like I mentioned in my video, Lawnmower Man.
Mm-hmm.
You had Disclosure. There was one other movie. Oh yeah, Johnny Mnemonic was a big movie for VR, and it went away because people got bored with it. It wasn't.
You're gonna be spending $300-400, and then you're gonna get one or two games at
And people say the argument against it when I bring that stuff up is people will say, oh, it's the technology was better. Yeah, visually it looks better, but it's still the same thing. It's still you with a headset on looking around, and that is the main problem. It wasn't the visuals. Obviously, the visuals in '95, '96 weren't that great, but that wasn't the main problem. The main problem was that you're sitting, inside of this device. For long periods of time, and all you're getting out of it is being able to look around. It's not adding anything to the games. So
yeah, I don't even know how they're gonna try to incorporate it into a game. Like, yeah, you can look around, but you're gonna still want to be moving forward. And if it's a shooter or something, like, yeah, you can look around, but you still gotta
hold that controller in your hand. Yeah, and you can't look at it because your eyes are covered up. So if you don't have muscle memory, you can't just look down at your controller without taking that thing off.
Yeah, and seeing dinosaurs and stuff, that's gonna be cool, and
that'll be cool. Yeah.
But how long is that gonna be cool? Is it and for your $400 investment?
Yeah.
So I spent like $400 for Jurassic World.
Just be prepared that it's going to be over before it starts, just like 3D TVs.
3D, I mentioned, 3D.
It's going to be over before it starts, so I wouldn't invest too much into it right away, because you'll get that shit dirt cheap about a year or two.
Yeah, I guess I'll see.
All right, so Terrell, were you done or?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, Ms. T, did you have a highlight from this?
I have nothing on it. All I got out of Sony Paris was what I heard from other people talking about it.
Okay.
And also Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but they showed them. It showed a different kind of a different way to approach the same giant.
It was the same area though. I saw that.
Yeah, same area, same T-Rex looking robot. Yeah, they took it down a different way, but I think honestly, this is my theory. That's all of the game that they have right now, and which they started with the gameplay first, so that's good. But I don't think they have the rest of the game any further, enough to show, because they just basically showed the same area, same creature.
Here's a question.
And for all you Rezo hoes, oh my bad, I mean cut you off.
Actually goes into what I'm about to ask. Do you think the next time we'll see it when they actually have more of the game, where you think it's gonna get a downgrade in graphics?
That's exactly where I was going. All you Rezo hoes. If this is all they have of the game, and it looks good, it looks like a pretty game, but they don't have a full game yet. So once they start plugging in everything, will we lose some graphical fidelity? Most likely.
I bet we will, yeah.
Most likely.
But also, I mean, it didn't look any worse. I just didn't see anything new to get me to reinvigorate my excitement. I just saw basically what I'd seen before. Yes, this still looks like it did before. It doesn't look any worse, and I need to know that there's going to be a actual full game.
Well, to touch on the combat real quick, I was going to say, I like the idea of having it where you have multiple ways to take down an enemy. I just hope the game gives you a reason to use all those different ways, because I feel like the game is going to have that one way that you take down an enemy, and you won't use any of the other ways.
Yeah, once you find the best way, that's all you're going to use. But I do like that the variety they're trying to implement, and hopefully, one of them, most of them are all equally effective, and you don't just have one that's so much better that that's all you're going to use. So,
right.
But yeah, I'd like them to just shelve that game. We've already seen it 3 times in 5 months. Until that game's further along and they can show us something new, I would say just hold it till next E3. I don't think Sony doesn't have that patience. I don't think they're gonna. I think we'll see it again in a couple months, and we'll see basically the same thing. But
we might see it next month because PlayStation Experience.
That's what I'm saying.
Is next
month.
Oh
my god!
It's gonna be the same footage. It's
gonna be, don't even show it, please.
It's gonna be No Game Sky all over again.
Because you keep showing that, and eventually it's gonna start to wear thin with people, and then especially if that game, like late 2016. I mean, that's a long ways away,
that game ain't coming in 2016.
If it doesn't get delayed, we're gonna have an X. Everyone's talking about Xenoblade. We've seen it so much. I stopped watching footage on it like months ago. But
Xenoblade?
Yeah, just because I'm ready for the game. But the same thing could happen with Horizon. So, but yeah, I mean, I still like the art style and the character the main character I think's interesting. The
Dinobot.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
I like everything else about it, but I just show us something. Wait to show it again until when you got something new to show us. So, but all right, we're gonna move on. Sony PlayStation selling well and all that. So, for the people that have PS4s, I'm sure it was exciting to see a lot of these 2016 games. Because that's really. There wasn't much for 2015 for you, so I'm sure if I had a PS4 recently bought one, I'd be excited about some of the things I'd seen, more than just somebody who doesn't have a PS4. So, so at least they got some games coming in 2016. Hopefully, if they don't get delayed. So, let's talk about a game that came out on Thursday, a year plus after the Japanese got it. That's Fatal Frame. And I purchased the full game after playing the trial, so I'm hoping everybody here at least tried the trial version, and so we can talk about that. So we'll start with Terrell. You did make a video kind of giving your impressions, so why don't you just kind of give us cliff notes?
Yeah. I bought it. I think the Europeans just got it a few days ago, because the Americans, we got it like a week before. It kind of feels like a PlayStation 2 horror game, and that's kind of a pro and a negative. The walking controls are like fucking so kind of archaic, and part of me feels like that's intentional. But like when you make moving the camera so hard, I feel like that's just the game was probably rushed when it came out, so the controls aren't done. The gameplay usage is awesome. I love the combat system. I like the whole Fatal Frames and the whole idea of you have to get like 5 of those things in there and you shoot it and you get. It's cool. I like the combat. The story's interesting so far. I'm not gonna go really too much into that. And now I'm just grinding my way until I can get some costumes.
Yeah. But they took out the good ones. Come on.
You mean the naked ones like they did in Bravely? They did that in Bravely Default. They're quote unquote going to do that in Xenoblade.
Well, Xenoblade for a 13-year-old.
Xenoblade, she's 13.
It's just a 13-year-old that they're.
They don't give a damn.
So I'm actually happy they did that.
Yeah,
but
I don't mind that at all. So.
Well, no, but hold on. Now I started thinking about what's the other girl's name in Xenoblade? The one with gray hair sort of thing.
Elma.
Yeah, is she still got that bikini in this?
I don't know. You'll have to.
Well, I mean, the only thing we've seen is Lynn's being changed.
Yeah. I think they're only going to affect Lynn's. Outfits.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm just.
What were they thinking?
All right, Robert.
Sorry, Robert. Calm down.
Well, he is close to her age, so that would make sense.
Yeah, but yeah, in Fatal Frame, like I seen some of the posts from the Japanese version.
I was like the first game.
And those, I mean, I'm sorry. There's the adult in me that's like, that's just ridiculous. Like, why would they have a lingerie outfit when you're mostly outside and stuff in the cold or whatever?
It's going to.
But then you got the man in me that's just like, who cares?
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, of course you'd be wearing that. But so it does suck. I do think the Zero Suit Samus costume is freaking awesome though. Like the fact that it's in the game. I wish you didn't have to beat the game and then have to replay it, because it sounds like there's not a whole lot of replay value.
Nah, unless you're just trying to get like A ranks and S ranks on the missions.
So, what would you say overall your feelings are on the game?
I like it, but but that doesn't necessarily mean other people will like it. Like I'm having fun with it. I feel like even though the walking controls and the camera, and not the actual camera weapon, but I mean like the actual third-person camera, even though that's weak as hell, I feel like because it's a horror game and the way it's presented, it isn't as much of a hindrance as it could be. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm really liking the game. It's maybe mostly nostalgia, but I just getting that. Remembering my buddy bring his PlayStation over, we play Resident Evil, and just the controls actually added to the tension because it wasn't easy to, in Resident Evil you were shooting with the guns and stuff. That actually added to the tension, whether it was on purpose or just Capcom doesn't have the talent to program for good controls. I'm not sure, but I'm getting that vibe and I'm totally digging it. Like I'm just like it's like I'm 20 years younger again playing Resident Evil. So that part of it I think is really helping me. Because the visuals are decent. I guess they're okay.
Yeah.
Walking around with a flashlight and not being able to really move that fast, it just adds to the tension. The atmosphere is amazing. The character designs are really, the girls are just super cute, and just the stories, really, really mature. Like, if you want to talk about a mature game, just the story itself, I'm not talking about it's violent or swear words. Like, it's just a mature story around suicides, and it's very dark. So
yeah.
I'm really liking the game. Like, it's like I'm like thinking to myself, like, am I really liking this game? Because I wasn't expecting to, and right now I'm really enjoying it. So I'm glad I bought it. And the trial version actually sold me on it. There was a prologue, then the first drop, then the second drop. You get to play about halfway through, and I wanted to play more, so I went and bought the game right away. But it is like 14 gigs, so you definitely need an external. Or nothing else.
Hey man, if you can't buy it, I'm boycotting. Now you made me buy. Yeah, fuck you, Nintendo. I'm not buying no external hard drive.
I mean, if I didn't download any other games, I'd have plenty of room. But because I got like 11 gigs on my internal internal Wii U storage, but I have like Mario Kart and 3D World on there. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm really liking the game. So Robert or Ms. T, if either of you have played it, I'd like to hear.
How long would you say the trial is? Like, how many hours? Or
Well, because of the prologue's like a tutorial with a lot of cutscenes, I had probably close to an hour into it, and then I got to the point where it's like trial had ended, and then but like I said, it wasn't till the second, they call it drops because it's based around water, like the second chapter.
How long did it take before you can get to the part? How long did it take you to get to the part where you had to pay to go forward? Would you say?
Like I said, about an hour, I think. Okay. Maybe 45 minutes.
About an hour.
So I haven't bought the game, but I've got 10 hours in. I just wanted you to set it up so I can explain how much I'm enjoying this thing. Go back. And I haven't bought it only because it's on my nerves. It gets on my nerves that I have to download it. I'm going to eventually, because I'm tired of just going through the same crap over and over again. But yeah, I had zero problems with the quote-unquote tank controls, as people like to call them.
It felt right to me.
Because it feels right for this type of game. Like, that's how it's supposed to be limiting. It's not supposed to be, Resident Evil 4 even, where you have all this free movement. That's part of the, what adds to the atmosphere to me in these types of games. And I thought I would like it, but I'm like you. I'm surprised that I like it as much as I do.
And I forgot to mention the actual combat. Like with the gamepad, I love that.
That shit is that is legit.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, I bumped my sensitivity on my camera, movements all the way up for both the. It's just for the left and right, not the horizontal, not the vertical. and that made a huge difference, and I can actually follow the ghost really well. So I mean I love that. That's what sold me on it. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I mean that's pretty much it. Like I was just trying to explain how much I do like the game. That I will put 10 hours in on the trial.
I don't even believe that. That's insane, bro.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I will screen cap and show you dudes because it is kind of unbelievable. And I'm looking at myself like, what? Really? Have I really gone back and just?
I think I only have with the full game. I think I only have like 3 or 4 hours in the whole game. But
Wow. So I have more hours playing the trial than you have like playing the full game.
You probably have more than me. I think I only have maybe like 5 hours of that.
That's
the
crazy.
problem is I was playing Mario Maker beforehand, and then my battery light came on, so I threw it on the charger. And then yesterday was kind of I was trying to push my way through Yoshi's because I just can't take Mario Maker out of my damn system. So I finally said yesterday I played Yoshi, and I dedicated that. And then you had The Walking Dead. You had a lot of football was on, so I didn't get a chance to play it again Sunday. But I'm looking forward to playing it.
Neither did the Lions.
The Giants tried. I guess the Giants scored some points, but anyway. Robert, I'm sure you loved it if you played it, but give us your take.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought it the first day it released. And just like last week, I was saying people should play it, and you guys played it, so that's cool. It's a really good game. The funny part about it is that in the beginning, like the first 2 chapters, I'm like, all right, this is a cool game. But as I got like the 3rd to like the 6th chapter, I'm like, this is actually really cool game. Like it's a really and just like how you guys said about the controls, I think it fits well within this game because it's a horror game. You're supposed to go slow. You're walking slow. You're creeping by everything and I love the atmosphere. The atmosphere is fantastic. The gamepad use is really good. I mean, I'm not perfect at them, but I just got a rank S in like one of the chapters. I'm like, hells yeah! And it was my first try. It was my first try. I just got it. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I think if you could run around like you can do in most third-person action games or something, it won't be as good.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it would be as
Because for anyone who wants to go fast in the game, you could still technically run.
You can, but you have no reason to. You don't have a reason to.
I really don't feel that fast, especially the girl runs such a girl.
I know, how dare she run realistically.
But yeah, it was the only thing. I didn't like the English voice acting. I thought it was pretty lackluster, so I switched to Japanese, and it's way better.
You can?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can switch to Japanese. Just
regardless,
I like it English.
It's just uninspired. It's just like with most anime movies.
I like it better in English just because I don't want to read subtitles. Even though
there's not that much dialogue.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot.
They don't talk much. Yeah, they don't.
And you got to read most of the stories.
I'm surprised they put English on this. I'll be perfectly honest. If it was gonna be a digital release, I figured it was gonna be Japanese only.
Yeah, they went through the trouble of getting voice actors.
They definitely didn't pay for the best voice actors.
No, not at all.
I think the voice acting is fine, and that's what I was gonna say is that the story is actually like it is dark. It's a dark story, and when it's in the trial version, but she commits suicide. It's a spoiler. Oh,
well, you mean like the first boss of the game?
No, yeah, just literally the first one, and I literally was like, oh snap! Like, wait a second, did she just kill herself? And
well, I don't think she intended to. Like the way the scene plays, like you're like, oh no.
No, yeah, she didn't intend to, but it just shocked me. I was like, oh snap! Okay, cool.
I kind of saw it coming. I don't know.
Yeah. I've already gotten to like the 4th chapter, and I've already seen I'm like, please don't let them. They're kind of. I don't know if it's gonna repeat, but it feels like there's a trope of, oh, you save a girl, oh, her dumbass went back and walked up the mountain again. Oh, you gotta save her. Oh, she's dead.
I'm on like the I think like the 5th drop or 6th drop. I'm not too sure.
You're around where I'm at. Then did you just see what's the girl they found in the box and she just saved her?
Yeah.
In the box?
You don't have to say. No more spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that amongst yourselves.
Spoiling it for me, too.
Oh, my bad.
Regardless, you should definitely buy this game because it's actually it's such an interesting game. It's such a different game compared to other horror games, especially nowadays. Nowadays, you got games like Outlast, Slender, all these games that fast paced, just keep going in your face like it's jump scare. But
actually, speaking of Slender, we just got that on the Wii U too, apparently.
yeah, which I'm a buy later on. But
What's that one?
Yeah, Slender. We just got was it the new arrival or
Slender
something?
the Arrival.
And then there's the Year Walk or whatever. It looked like.
Yeah, that looks interesting. That looks interesting also.
I mean, that's the type of game you play with the lights off at night. You don't play that during the day with just the glare of the sun on your TV. You gotta play that at night
and the letter too. Don't get the letter.
Yeah.
No, don't get that game. That game's trash.
Can I just say it's sad for me to say this, but I had $2 on my.
You got it right. You got. I was curious. Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah.
I beat it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's literally like a 10-minute game.
What?
It's pathetic.
Yeah, I thought, cause I'm like, yo, a horror game on Wii U. I've been wanting one.
Yeah.
And then it was $2. I'm like, I got $2, whatever. And so I spent it, and I beat it. And I'm like, okay.
I bought it. I had like $3. You can't buy anything with $3 on the eShop. So I was like, let me go ahead and get this game.
I remember you talking about that before. Now.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, the letter. What the fuck's he talking about?
Yeah. No, that's garbage, man.
So, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we'll have to,
there's a good amount of horror games coming, so definitely buy those.
I'm gonna have to play through it in the video and just make fun of it.
We should do those. Throw down that money, get the full version of Fatal Frame. You could have probably beaten the game in that 10 hours.
No,
I know, right?
Then you'd be playing with Zero Suit Samus, all the repeat times.
That's the better costume of the two.
I'm wondering what costumes there are in there, because I know the ones that aren't. I don't know which.
I think I've seen like maid and cat ears and shit like that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's kind of.
Those are all it's Koei Tecmo, so it's still fan servicey outfits. It's just that they're just not naked, I guess.
The Zelda ones, the Hyrule Warriors Zelda, I believe that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But
Yeah.
That confused me. I was like, well, I guess that's the most revealing Zelda outfit.
It's definitely revealing in certain area there, but.
Is it? I wouldn't even pay attention.
Yeah,
I saw latex and I was like, well, I'm done. Let's go.
The Zero Suit's the better of the two overall, but I think the Zelda one, there's some nice titty flops. There's some nice titty flops in that one.
I'm about to say there are jiggle physics in this game.
There's some titty flops.
People don't even realize that. It's like, boy, is this a horror game that has jiggle physics? It's cool.
Well, you can't see the front of your character unless you really try, because as soon as you hit the camera far enough, the character turns away.
I tried.
Unless you break the camera and get it to get stuck on a wall, so you can
the old Lara Croft technique from 2 years ago.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
Because back in
that was the reason why I played Tomb Raider in the first place. But we're not gonna get into that.
Back when Lara Croft's breast was a single polygon. A 2D.
You mean the giant? Yeah, let's say the triangles.
Yeah.
The game art looked pretty good though.
Oh yeah. So all right. So it seems like everyone's kind of feeling pretty good about that game, which I know it's just early for me and the nostalgia, and it was Halloween, but I was like, man, this might be my top 5 games of the year. That's how much I was like.
Well, it's not that high up for me, but it's up there.
I haven't played more than 6-7 games this year, so it's not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not like it's a huge list.
But anyway, let's get on to the Nintendo had their investors meeting, and is it Kimishima?
Kimishima. Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of outlined some of their sales numbers and stuff. So, just real quick, for me, the thing that stood out was the 12.4 million units of software from Nintendo published games on the Wii U in 6 months. This is only 6 months. We're only halfway through the fiscal year. That seems like a really high amount.
Considering.
For a 10.8 install base, in 6 months they sold over 12 million units of Nintendo published software. So, and that's digital and physical. So I thought that, that's still Smash still selling, Mario Kart 8 still selling, 3D World still selling. Splatoon and Mario Maker. That's really impressive, all things considered. I'd be curious to know what the PlayStation 4 software sales were for 6 months. You know, with third parties and stuff, I'm sure it's a lot higher. But
wait, are we talking about like Sony specific titles? Or you're talking about just everything?
I'm just wondering how that compares, because Nintendo really didn't have third-party games that would really add to that total much in that time span, because it ended September 30th, so it doesn't count any. I don't know if like Just Dance or I don't know how many Lego games would have counted.
Yeah, I was saying Lego Dimensions came out.
Yeah, I mean, I bought Lego Jurassic World, so.
You're weak.
Of course you did.
You're weak.
Yeah, at least that has all the movies in it, so I almost bought that too. But it's a Lego game, and those.
I'm so burnt out on Lego right now.
But other than that, they've sold just over 1 million Wii U's in 6 months, and actual hardware sales is up over last year. Like they're outpacing last year with Mario Kart 8, with Hyrule Warriors, Donkey Kong Country, and right before Bayonetta came out. So Splatoon and Mario Maker are actually have the Wii U up over last year as far
system sellers.
So that was a little surprising. It was marginally higher, but I mean that's pretty impressive considering it. I guess Mario Maker's not new, but it's technically a new IP, I guess. But Splatoon, completely new.
Well, also, remember Mario Maker had only been out for like what, a few weeks?
3 weeks, or barely, just under 3 weeks. So.
Yeah, so like that's the fact that it was doing that well is kind of nuts. And Splatoon being a new IP.
We're talking about Smash and Mario Kart 8, and whatever.
Well, at this point last year, Smash wasn't out.
Smash wasn't out yet. Okay, that's right. So.
But I think Smash led to a lot of late November, December sales, and January, February. The first quarter or the last quarter of that fiscal year. But Smash and Mario Kart are still selling, and Mario Kart's now over 5.
Yeah, it's almost 6 million. It's like 5.8. Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. I don't understand how Nintendo does that. Like,
I know,
a year later, the game's still selling. Like, that happens to nobody else.
And it's still $60. I mean,
and it's still $50, $60. Like, how are they able to continue doing that? I don't.
But people always want to. They always want to talk about those first week sales, and here's another example. And the crazy thing is, you got that many people bought Mario Kart 8. You got Mario Maker selling well, but the system's still just struggling. It's like, I mean,
it passed Dreamcast.
Yeah, finally.
Yep.
It's just amazing to me, like.
We're not gonna talk about it.
No, let's talk about that real quick. I wanted to mention that is the difference between. All right, obviously.
The Dreamcast was done already at this point.
Yeah, it took a year longer, basically, for the Wii U to reach Dreamcast total lifetime, because Dreamcast had hit that at like 18 months, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It hit 9 something at 18 months, and Wii U took almost 3 years to hit that. But here's the difference. We were just talking about it. The games, if the Dreamcast games sold the way the Wii U games sell, Sega might still be making consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But you had great games like Shenmue coming out, did like 500,000, I think. Like, what? They spent millions on that game. So that's what killed the Dreamcast. The game sales. The console sold, only barely 10 million, but it still would have been all right. It would have made it if the games were selling, at least. And that's the difference.
And that's what as much as Nintendo didn't want to do it, and they definitely didn't, dropping the price of the Wii U to get more people to buy the system, they could have made up that money in extra software sales, but they chose not to do that. The Dreamcast dropped to like $100 before year 2 was up, or right around the time year 2 was up.
Right.
It dropped to $100, and the games went really cheap. So the extra million it sold after that was
right. They were selling at losses.
Below cost. Yeah, that was just a fire sale. So really the Wii U was ahead of what the Dreamcast was selling at full price. Most of
I
a
don't
lot of
think
their.
there's. Oh, my bad.
I was just gonna say a lot of the last million or so was that $100 price point at the end. So
I don't think there's 1 million seller on the Dreamcast. I could be
probably
wrong
not.
about that. I don't think there's
Soul
one.
Calibur might have been.
I
Might
think
have
yeah,
had the best
Soul
shot.
Calibur or Marvel Capcom 2 are probably the closest if it did hit 1 million. But I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I was gonna look too.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not gonna go through all the information, but I'll just ask Terrell. They reiterated Zelda U definitely still coming to Wii U, and with software sales like this, I mean it's obvious to me that that was their justification. I'm pretty sure. Do you feel like that's accurate?
So what you think because of how well it's sold?
How well software sales are doing on the Wii U? Like, maybe I'm just asking if you think that that's led to them making keeping Zelda on the Wii U.
I don't think it led to them. I think it just reaffirmed the decision. Like I feel like the decision was already there, but seeing that the sales are there, just made it go, yeah, this was the right decision. Like it's one of those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like it just reaffirmed it, if anything.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, because if these software sales numbers weren't good, I guarantee you Zelda would be on the NX.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say the Dreamcast. They had like $100 million marketing campaign too, so they were in the whole hole.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I thought I had the numbers. We'll get back to it later.
Okay. So anybody have anything else they want to? Am I forgetting something? Before we get on to the next day, they had another investors meeting about the mobile game, which we'll talk about. But anything else?
Did you want to talk about the Nintendo account system thing?
My Nintendo? Yeah, we can talk about that now. I was going to kind of incorporate it, but we can start with that. They didn't give a whole lot of information, but if somebody wants to.
The general idea I got from it and looking over this footage is that it's like first off, it's the all-encompassing account I think that everyone was bitching about. That apparently is coming in March. So yeah, guys, we're getting it. Shut up. It's replacing Club Nintendo, and it's if it's done in the way I think it's going to be done, which is because it's saying you can get points not only for buying the games but also playing the games, which means to me that makes it seem like it's like an automatic digital account. Like you sign in with your Nintendo Network ID, and then like when you play your games on that Nintendo Network ID account, it automatically sends points to your like My Nintendo account thing. And I feel like, and then the whole and you can use it to purchase stuff at theaters and the theme parks, and you can still get the Club Nintendo like rewards, and like even the whole well, if you play this game a lot, then we'll suggest you use your points for like this game, which I think is pretty much it's trying to do what the PlayStation did with the whole Vita / PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 situation, but better. And and then the whole cloud saves for your data for your the cloud-based save data pool thing.
They said that would be coming in the future, like that. I didn't.
Well, that part, yeah, I don't think that's just yet, but I know the My Nintendo stuff is like March.
So I envision it like I don't know if you guys have the Splatnet app on your phone, or anybody that ever had Call of Duty Elite, the app on their phone. I envision it like they didn't really outline it like this, but it's just my theory. Like you're gonna be able to get on your smartphone, open that My Nintendo, and see your friends list. I have a feeling this is going to be a way to send messages and add friends and stuff right there instantly on your smartphone. And it's going to tie in while you could be playing the game and then quickly just check your friends list on your smartphone. I don't know if this is what they're going to do, but I think it kind of seems like that to me. And you might even be able to send messages and game invites via your smartphone or something. So that's just kind of a feeling I have about where this is going to go. And then also, like I said, the points and stuff, you're not going to have to go on and type in a code. Hopefully they can just see that you've played the game or
yeah, like it kind of works like an achievement system. You hit a certain point, ding, 20 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think if it's implemented without any real like causing us to have to do a lot of BS to get it to work, I think it's going to be great. So I don't know if anybody else wants to comment on the My Nintendo part, because they really, like I said, they didn't give a whole lot of information.
Yeah, they didn't talk that much about it, but it seems like it's a great actually, transition from Club Nintendo. And did you talk about the? Sorry, I was tending to my kid. Did you talk about the trophy or achievement thing and how that's going to be integrated?
Yeah, like you said that you might be able to use it at theme parks and theaters and stuff in game like DLC and stuff or microtransaction stuff.
Do people think that whole you can use it at movie theaters thing is alluding to something?
It has to be, right?
Maybe.
Because part of my mind when I heard that, I was like, what movies is that going for if it's not
Probably
like a Nintendo?
Has to be Nintendo themed movies.
Yeah, it'll be for Wreck-It Ralph too.
I just don't. I mean, I've said this 100 times, but is there any doubt that a Super Mario Brothers movie in the vein of Toy Story or any of Pixar's best movies would just be printing money? Like,
it would be like, I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. like why do you guys not want these people's money?
Exactly. It's like, just make sure someone who's a solid writer writes.
Yeah, it can't just be some trash with Mario stuff on it.
Film, and make sure you got top tier voice acting talent, and of course Mario would have to be played by what the frick's his name?
Charles Martin.
Yeah, you have to get Charles Martin in, I think.
But I mean, to me, that's just like, yeah, they might have to invest $100 million for that to make that movie. That movie's gonna make
$100 million? No.
You don't think so? To make
not for a CGI movie, no.
Yeah,
I don't know. CG's,
I think 30, 40.
Yeah.
Really?
You're
I
in
think
good
it's only,
shape.
I think like How to Train Your Dragon 2 or something. I think that's a high 80 million budget, but that's just, I don't know, because it's.
I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I don't think it costs that much.
Either way, that movie would 500 million to $1 billion at the box office. So.
Easy.
But anyway, Yoshi in it. You got Mario. I mean, come on. It's just, I don't know why they haven't. But anyway, let's transition into the hot topic, the Miitomo, and we're getting a lot of people upset over nothing, if you ask me.
It wasn't made for the gamers, Juice.
So,
where's my Mario Runner?
That's kind of that's basically what I'm hearing. So, what do you guys think? Who do you think Miitomo was designed for? And what do you think Nintendo's plan is for it? So we'll start with Robert. Who do you think they're targeting with this application that's basically like a social networking with Mii's?
Well, it's exactly that. It's the everyday people. They go on Facebook, they go on Twitter, they go on Google+, they go on whatever social media, and they just want to be another social media that they could become more well-known again about, Mii's, I know Mii's, I did the Mii's on the Wii. So they'll download that, talk to other people through it, and then it's just more interaction with Nintendo itself. And obviously they got the in-app purchases. So that's going to be
cool. Yeah, this is the most poignant stuff you said tonight. Like,
it is.
I'll tell you why, though. What do people always say about Wii to Wii U? About the people who didn't come over from Wii to Wii U? Where did they go?
That it was, they went to mobile.
They went to mobile, right?
Uh-huh.
But those people love and know the Mii's, right?
Yeah, they know the Mii's. Everyone knows the Mii's.
Duh, let's give them Mii's, because that's what they know from the Wii generation, is that they used to love these Mii's on their Wii. And so you give them an application with Mii's. You don't give them a hardcore game.
Man, listen to these Nintendo fags just defending this mobile game.
I mean, it just like the fact that you have these hardcore gamers becoming mobile gaming experts just because Nintendo was entering the foray. I just don't. I didn't realize this was a thing. I don't care about this thing. Like.
But we're not supposed to.
And that's it. We're not supposed. This is for those people who, again, everybody agrees they left the Wii to go mobile. So this is for those guys.
Yep, yeah, the everyday person.
Right.
Yeah, Nintendo said one, they weren't gonna put their main IPs, like their goal wasn't to just put a Mario game on a cell phone, like, and have it play. They said that right away.
These people say they listen, and then they just completely don't listen.
And the other thing is,
they said that months ago, a year ago.
Nintendo knows there's this hardcore Nintendo fans bought the Wii U. They buy, not quite as hardcore, buy the 3DS. The whole point of doing this is to broaden their reach. And if you heard what he said, they're thinking 100 to 200 million.
Yeah.
What'd they say? Different users using Miitomo. Like that's their vision.
And if you're playing Mitomo, and the thing comes up about your NX and how you can, you're advertising to these 200 million people possibly on mobile. To maybe I should go buy that NX thing and see what I can do with my Miis on that.
Yeah.
That's what they said they were gonna do. That's why it's so frustrating. They said it would be a nice tool, basically, to market to a broader audience. That's what mobile is gonna be for them.
And come on, man. As soon as you get your Mii, and then you see like we do a Splatoon, you see new costumes. People are gonna be spending money on that.
Of course.
Yep. But we don't know the full breadth of uses this is going to have, and I just want to say it because I forgot to say it. I don't care about Miitomo. Like it's nothing I'm excited about using myself, but I can't say it's a bad idea until a year from now or 3 months in. If it's a failure, no one's using it, no one's talking about it. Like there's people already saying it's a bad idea, it's a fail. We won't know that. Like you could be saying that now, and then they hit that 100 million users like in the first year, then how it's a success. Like it was the right idea.
It'll still be trash because they don't want it. I don't want it, so it's still trash to me.
So I mean, we can't say whether it's a good idea at this point, whether it's a terrible idea, because you won't know. Like people probably thought Amiibos were stupid when they announced it, and those sold 21 million in less than a year. So you don't know. We don't know.
Wii was stupid. People thought it sounded stupid. People thought Miis were dumb. They weren't going to go anywhere. Yeah, tell that to Microsoft avatars.
Yeah. So
come on.
We can't judge this now. We can't judge it even a month after it comes out. Like we won't know the full failure or success of it for a while. But
there's a good way to see if this was a good idea. First, look at yourself and ask the question, do you play mobile games? If your answer is no, then the next question you should ask is, are you going to use Miitomo personally? No? Okay, then that means that means they did a good job because they're finding the mobile and not you.
So let's play devil's advocate, and let's talk about what Nintendo could have done, or approach they could have took, was try to bring a legitimate gaming to smartphones, to mobile.
Mario Boom.
Bring the Nintendo Magic to smartphones, which I think I might have said, when they first announced that partnership. Maybe they'll show everyone else like there are non-shallow experiences, but who's gonna buy a Super Mario Maker on your smartphone? Who's most likely to buy it? The people that have Wii U's and would buy it on a Wii U, or some person that's going to buy Kim Kardashian's game, So,
all right. Well, I don't know how much power it would take. Smartphones are pretty powerful today. So maybe they could run the maker aspect of Mario Maker, and you could make levels. You can't play them. 'Cause I wouldn't want to play anything on a damn smartphone that requires precise platforming. Just not with touch controls. Not gonna happen. So maybe you could take parts of a game and you can do it on mobile and you can bring that over into your real game. That would be interesting.
I was gonna say I think Mario versus Donkey Kong might lend itself better.
Mario versus Donkey Kong, right? See, but that's the problem that Nintendo has. It's like, well, if we can make a game like that, why don't we just put it on our handheld? Why don't we just why make people struggle through touch controls when we don't have to? We have a handheld that you can play that stuff on. They're trying to differentiate themselves in what they do on mobile. They can't just make games that could go on the damn DS or 3DS. Why would they do that? What's the point of that?
Well, I mean, then it gets into the question like, what franchises should they use and what gameplay styles? Yeah. Because I mean, it has to be simple. I mean, that's the whole appeal to phone gameplay. Is that it's simple, and I feel like they should test the waters and maybe like doing like a kind of a mini version like Splatoon. You could easily do like
the squid jump.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could take the arcade game from the Splatoon, or you could even try to do like a nerf to Splatoon in the sense that like, oh, you play target practice and like you use the volume buttons to shoot, and then since you can tilt your phone anyway, I mean people are doing that regardless. I mean a lot of games because people got to realize is that we got like 4 other games that they're gonna come out with. Like for those who were bitching about Miitomo, we got 4 other games. Like what? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's another thing. There's other games that are coming out, and this is just what we know about. And this is the thing, though. If you heard Mario Runner, basically, was coming to mobile, would that excite you more? Would we be really talking about Mario Runner right now? The way we're talking about Miitomo?
No.
I don't think we would. So, I don't know.
I think, like, they obviously didn't just go into this blind. They didn't just say, oh, that's a great idea, let's try that. I'm sure they did a lot of research into what types of stuff people are doing with these mobile games, and the social aspect must have stood out to them. And like I said, we won't know if it's a success or not for a long time. But
well, the investors were unhappy, so that proves.
Well, I think it could have been the type of game, but I think it was more the delay.
Yeah, I think that's what they were mad at.
Right.
Yeah.
I think because that's going to delay the revenue coming in.
But even if it wasn't for that, the investors don't know
shit,
and they don't know anything. Right? They're always it goes up and down with them as far as their the stocks and whatnot. That fluctuates so much because they don't know. That is a unknown kind of a deal when you're dealing with stocks and investors, and you don't know what's going to take off and what's there's no sure thing. If there was a sure thing, then everybody would be rich because we'd all know, what we have to do. But that's not how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the Miitomos. I think it's a less of a gamble than doing like a 2D Splatoon on there, because I think, like we said, they're trying to branch out and reach a lot more people. And I know there's people like, oh, Nintendo needs to get back to focusing on the core gamers. They didn't make this partnership to get back to core gamers. They made this partnership for another way to bring in revenue, just to compensate for the Wii U's failure, like the sales failure. If the Wii U had sold 40, 50 million at this point, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. There would be no mobile partnership. So they're just trying to bring in some ad revenue, or not ad revenue, but just revenue.
They're trying to get Nintendo back.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's more the 3DS. If the 3DS was sitting at 80 million right now, they wouldn't be thinking about this as much.
Yeah, that's true. So I mean, basically, like Terrell said, if you don't play mobile games, yeah, maybe I could see someone was hoping Nintendo would give them a reason to play mobile games. Like I just don't. They're just so shallow and stuff. If they had a decent game, Nintendo come up with a decent game on there, found a way to like, Mario versus Donkey Kong or something, made an interesting game, I might have picked it up and paid for it. But they're trying something broader. And Retro Death has a question, and I can ask each one of you: Do you think they'll actually reach 200 million members through Miitomo for the My Nintendo?
I don't think that's. I don't know about my Nintendo. I don't think 200 million downloads is crazy.
Yeah.
We're talking about Nintendo and we're talking about mobile. People download anything.
Yeah, you have to actually register. You have to go through a quick process. That's part of the thing they said they were.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy astronomical number. Not for mobile.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. Especially you look at a lot of numbers, and all of them are 1 billion downloads, 1 billion downloads. So why can't Nintendo make 200 million? So
how many people live in Japan?
Not
like,
sure.
a trillion.
It's around no.
No,
It's around 12 million. It's like 12 million or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it was on the Level Head podcast. He thinks Miitomo is too Japanesey to appeal to Western.
Hey man,
way.
It has that Japanese feel to it. But, I mean, let's think about it. Like before the Wii came out, who the hell listened to the Wii and was like, "Oh, that's American. We're totally gonna not buy that."
Excuse me, Pokemon? Is that American? like or Tamagotchi Life or Milk Watch or what's the what is it?
Fantasy Life.
Fantasy Life?
Yeah.
I like that game.
Yeah, are those two non-Western?
Watch?
Because they all sold pretty well.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
And I know a lot of Americans who love those games.
Yeah, Pokemon. I mean,
especially Pokemon.
I'm sure the first time people heard that, they thought it was.
What is that?
Yeah.
They wanted to ban it and do all kinds of stuff to Pokemon. Is it devil worship?
I mean,
funny.
Let's be real here, though. Miitomo could turn out to be.
Oh, it could turn out to be a total dud.
Yeah. No, it could be. I don't know. So, I just think it's interesting when people expectations, even though Nintendo told them what to expect, just like with E3, and you still get people that get disappointed. So, I'll probably. If it's free, I'll probably check it out, but nothing about it looks interesting to me.
I'm going to check it out only for the My Nintendo stuff. I said that.
What happened? I mean, maybe they could flesh it out later on to actually ties in with games. Like, I don't know. There's maybe you could make friends that way, and hey, you want to play Mario Kart later or something. I don't know. Maybe it's going to tie into. To that, so we don't know.
They were saying they want you to share personal secrets with each other.
That's the one thing. Like they're talking about personal information. It's like that seems kind of.
but you guys, you're not 12-year-old girls. They do that all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Have you been on Facebook, on Twitter? That's what they do.
On Snapchat,
on Instagram.
Instagram.
And what I was gonna say is
that happens all day, every day.
And getting past the concept being stupid. Think about it. Some of the most popular sites we use have stupid concepts. Like for example, Vine. Vine is a website in which you are limited to record a video for 6 seconds. That's all you can do. That sounds asinine in concept. Like,
but you just heard that without all this popularity, you'd be like, "That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard in my life."
Or like Twitter. It's like Twitter's like Facebook, but you can only post like a certain amount of characters.
You're limited to 20 characters. Good luck.
Yeah, and you can't and you don't have your own custom page and shit.
Or even like Snapchat, your videos go away in 5 seconds.
Yeah, all that shit sounds stupid.
And it's all super popular as hell.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So if you could get me to talk some secret stuff, it might get popular. You never know.
Rob is gonna be using the hell out of this. All right,
I know. My nieces probably eat this stuff up, man.
Yeah, like I said, we'll find out. But they're just some of the mobile games I see my nephew playing. He's 11. Just boggles my mind at how there's literally no gameplay.
There's nothing.
And they spend hours playing that. So it could be something huge, and it could be a dud. So we'll have to see. But just real quick. We don't have that many questions. Only got like 3 questions. So, have you guys seen the Star Wars Battlefront TV ads yet? Has anybody seen them?
Yeah.
Nope.
Is that the one with the adults?
They need to quit lying on TV.
I have a question because they have to. These are the words on the screen they have to use, not actual gameplay.
Oh yeah.
They actually use live action and CG X-wings and they recreate the Hoth scene with this basically CG like special effects and all that.
Lies, man.
And showing the
Lies.
actors, and it says not actual gameplay, but it doesn't look any better than the actual gameplay. So why spend the money to recreate these CGI scenes to throw out instead of showing the game, which actually looks as good, if not better? I don't know. I don't know if anybody else has an opinion on that.
Hey, I don't know if it. Do you think it looks as good as the actual gameplay?
Yeah.
I think it's much smoother. I don't know if like the visual fidelity probably isn't that.
Well, they show like it's like darker. The what is it? What's the big ones? The
ATSTs.
ATSTs or ATATs? One of them. They show like three of them really close together, and they show the ship flying. It's kind of like they're like darker in color. They're kind of washed out in the actual game.
Yeah.
But the gameplay was exciting enough at like E3. They got a lot of people's attention. Like, why can't they just show the gameplay? Show, frickin', what's the damn jungle planet? Endor?
Endor, yeah.
Yeah. It always sounds like you're saying indoor. Like,
have we seen Endor yet? In gameplay?
Yeah.
Not gameplay, just.
Oh no! I thought we saw a few.
All we saw was that cuts or the whatever little footage they showed.
So
there was nobody actually playing. And I haven't seen anybody actually playing Endor.
I just can't. And of course, there's PS4 logo all over the commercial, like it's a damn.
Yeah, well, they pay for that, so they.
But I'm just like, just show the game that got people so excited. Why are you showing these actors, these live action actors, like acting excited and like to show the frickin' game? I don't understand.
I think it's because of the casual gamer, the Star Wars fan who may not be a gamer, who wants to see a cinematic Star Wars experience in a video game. They don't want to see like over somebody's shoulder. You know, they want to see, what they see in the movies. I think that's why they chose that. It's a visual choice for the casual gamer.
Well, you could also say it's like almost nostalgia. Obviously not for me.
Yeah, they play that music and then.
Yeah, but they could do all that with the in-game visuals, and that got me.
Yeah, but you're not the casual gamer that they're.
Because they're like this
is a Star Wars fan who may not be a gamer, who or who doesn't play a whole lot of games.
You think if they show the game, they turn like. But then why would that person buy the game though? I don't understand.
I don't know. Why did non-RPG fans buy Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, it's true.
Because
that's because the regular game looked like absolute garbage, whereas Battlefront looks visually impressive, and it's like the best part of the game is the graphics engine and the visuals they pulled off with the game. So to me, it's like
I'm just saying that's impressive to a gamer, like a guy who plays a lot of games. But the person who may not play a lot of games, that stuff doesn't excite them the way John Williams' score does, and being that shot behind the X-wing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I
don't
know, man.
That's what I'm thinking. That's a
game. But what are you gonna do?
It's one of my biggest pet peeves right now is the way they advertise Black Ops 3. They've been doing that for Call of Duty since it got huge. They just get these big name celebrities and they don't show any gameplay, which is
it works. That stuff works on it works the audience they're trying to reach.
Well, because the people that buy those games, the only games they know exist are the ones they see TV commercials for.
Right.
Like my supervisor, he only knows that Call of Duty exists, the new one, when he sees the TV ads. He doesn't know about it ahead of time.
That's true. Like that's what I mean. We're in a bubble here. We see from our perspective, but the average dude that plays these games, they don't know what Sony Paris, they don't know anything about any of this stuff. All they know is what happened in that commercial.
They don't know anything about No Man's Sky until they see a TV ad showing, which will probably be a live-action commercial if it makes it out on the PlayStation. There'll probably be a live-action commercial of a dude flying in a ship onto a planet. Like,
I know a dude who plays. He probably buys more games than me, but he's definitely casual, and he just does not. He's not in tune to this stuff the way we are. He just I want to buy my game and that's it. He ain't with all the politics.
Well, that's fine. I kind of wish I wasn't in the politics, but is he a PlayStation fan?
Yeah, he's an Xbox dude. Xbox.
Okay, because the guy I always talk about, I used to work with, total Sony fanboy, doesn't even know why. He thought Watch Dogs was exclusive to the PS4. He thought,
Wow.
what was the one after Watch Dogs? Destiny. He thought that was a PS4
I was
exclusive.
gonna say Sony is like the kings of making people think that they have.
They're the kings of
games.
deception.
They're good. They're good. They market. That's part of what
That's
they
why
do.
it's selling so good.
Their media, man. That's what they own studios to market.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Microsoft doesn't own any studios for media.
They spend
Nintendo doesn't
more.
own those studios.
Like they spend more on the. I bet they spent more on marketing in a year than Nintendo spends on game development.
Actually, I think they spend less because of what I just said. They own the studios.
Yeah, but they still gotta subtract the money, the man hours, and whether they own the studios, they're not paying.
Maybe less is the wrong word, but they spend less than what Microsoft or Nintendo would have to spend for the same commercial, because they own the building. They own the studio, like I said. So it's cheaper for them to go grander than it is for the other studios, the other game companies too.
Yeah, that's probably true. So I don't know. That's just, I keep seeing that damn commercial. I actually turned the station the last couple times. There's two versions of it. There's a kids one and there's an adult in an office, like a high-rise office. Where the X-wing comes up, and it's just, I don't know, man. Those live-action commercials or only CG commercials tend to get me to not buy a game, like change my decision to buy a game if they won't.
Because it feels like you're being deceived. It's like
they're
trying to lie to me and they're hiding something.
Maybe is that the answer? What Nintendo needs to do? They just need to plaster these dumb commercials that don't show any gameplay.
Work. It would totally work. I just wouldn't want them to do it.
No.
But it would work.
Telling you, do it with Xenoblade.
I've been saying that. Yeah, trick these fools into thinking it's GTA.
I said it about Xenoblade. I was like, man, they should, put that.
Well, they
thing
could get
out
away
there.
with it with Xenoblade. That's why.
Show the transforming mechs and just
science fiction GTA. That's all.
Do a CG trailer where it's just like CG of all the stuff that's happening in the game, and that's it. Don't show any gameplay. Don't show any of that. Any of the menu at the bottom. And that's too much. What's all those?
Don't show any of that.
I can't do any of that stuff. That looks too confusing to me.
Have a cinematic with their like sliding down a hill, jumping like really fake animation style. Character movement.
Sliding off one of those animals, doing some shooting while you're jumping off of it.
Yeah,
and
with explosions
your mech flies up under you and you land inside your mech.
Yeah, the mech transforms from a car that you're and then it transforms into a mech as you're flying and land inside it. It'd be
with explosions every
might as well
get
Michael Bay to direct it too.
Yeah, get Michael Bay or Peter Jackson or somebody on it.
So anyway, we got a few questions here. We'll get to those and then we'll wrap this up. So, let's see. Retro Death. He just pointed out it's zombies versus ghosts. In Europe.
Wow, that was really late.
You guys said what? Skeletons?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was saying skeletons.
Yeah, that was Robert, man. He's wrong.
So Rebound King. I think he's joking. And I think it's a World of Warcraft reference, but I'm not 100% sure. Do you think Zelda Wii U got delayed so that Anuma can add horse armor?
Yes.
Good stuff. That is good stuff.
Yeah, I'm just so ready to find out that game's title and just. I know they confirm it's Wii U, but I need to see it again to believe that it's
I don't think I ever doubted it was going to be Wii U. I just thought, I still do. I still think it's a possibility that it can be on both.
I don't think there's a reason to put it on both, but I don't know.
Not yet. Yeah.
I just think anyone that's going to buy it on the Wii U.
Well, it depends on when it comes out. That's the main thing. When is it coming out? Then you can decide if it's a good idea.
Because, seriously, I'd just buy the NX and play it on there if I had the choice.
Right.
If the NX version offers something, same game, like gamepad-like usage and stuff. But speaking of gamepad and Wii U, King Grimpachi, he just loves to try to get things stirred up with his questions.
I saw Terminator. As soon as Terminator said King Grimpachi, I was like, oh, here we go.
Stirring the pot.
He's saying if Nintendo is making money off the Wii U, which I don't know that they still. I just know they're not losing money.
They are. They're making a profit.
But it actually costing them more to manufacture now than it did 2 years ago. But either way, he says according to some gamers, it's still making money according to some gamers. Isn't trying to get third party on NX. He's saying Nintendo isn't trying to get third party on NX. What would be the rush for Nintendo to drop a console next year? I'm just not seeing the reason behind them doing that. Just because they're making a little bit of money off the Wii U doesn't mean they don't want a system that can sell 10 million in a year versus 3 years to make more money. And you can't, I think they realized after the Wii, you can't have a year and a half of nothing and then release another console.
Well, that was like 2 years.
How do we know what they're doing?
We don't know, though.
This is where I'm lost.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
King, that's a lot of assumptions.
Everybody became an analyst as soon as the NX was brought up.
No, I don't know. I don't know if this is a thing. Like, I don't know if I'm just nostalgic and I don't remember us doing this when we were younger. But I never assumed anything. Like if it wasn't written down in a magazine and I had the information from the source, like I never said, well, they're obviously not trying to get third.
How could you say
know that? Like, how do we know that? Like,
sounds like they already were because EA's saying they're considering development.
Square Enix came out.
Square Enix, they're developing. Other third parties apparently were excited after E3 after seeing the NX. So I don't know. That part of it seems pretty weak, but the reason to drop a console next year is because your consoles just hit 10 million after 3 years. I mean,
yeah. And they made the mistake of waiting too long after Wii into Wii U, and they can't. I don't feel like they can make that mistake again. I think.
Yeah, they need to get back some excitement back, and
I feel like it's them kind of rebranding themselves, and to do that with a new console without the Wii name would help.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
And
you nailed it.
Are they going to put out their next 3D Mario game on the Wii U that's still only at barely under 11 million, or are you going to put it on be a launch title for your console and help propel that to a way more successful lifetime sales? And like, to start with, why would you take some really amazing games and put them on the last year of your Wii U instead of putting them as your first year of your console?
I was gonna say I don't think that's a terrible idea. I just feel like you should have transition games. Like,
yeah, you gotta have transition games.
I don't feel like I mean, a lot of people say, well, why even put Pokémon Tournament on Wii U? Why not? Or why put Zelda on Wii U? It's that same kind of mentality. Why put the games that haven't come out yet on the old console if we can get them on the new console with higher graphics and shit? Like, I still want transition games, and if they announce, like, I don't know.
I don't think there's gonna be a visual difference, really.
No,
for Zelda U, if Zelda U would be ported over to Wii U NX at this point, I don't think they're gonna go in and try to tweak it too much and do anything visually different, because the game's already gorgeous.
So it would be like a Twilight Princess situation.
Maybe it could
it'd be like a Twilight Princess situation where it looks a little better, not really.
But you might be able to get it running at 60 frames per second.
And you might get it exactly. You might.
I think Anuma's aiming for 60, but we don't know that.
Well, you're talking. That game's been in development for
eons,
3+ years for Wii U. It's the biggest budget title they've ever. Biggest team to try to switch that over, especially if the NX doesn't have similar architecture. That would be a pretty. I don't think it'd be worth it.
That's one of the reasons Shenmue costs so much. These people go from from 20 million to 50 million. One of the reasons it cost that much is because it was on Saturn. They were developing it for Saturn. They got really far with it on Saturn when they said, "Oh, Saturn's dead to us. We're moving over to Dreamcast," and they moved that game over to Dreamcast, and that's what the budget was so high for that game. Nintendo was not going to do that, I don't think.
Yeah,
If they did move it over, they're not gonna switch it up so much to where the budget's get even higher. Because like you said, the budget's already their highest budget, title in their history. So.
And the software sales are still pretty strong. I think
Exactly.
they'll put it out on Wii U, Star Fox, Pokken Tournament. Do that in the first 6-7 months of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then
those are good transition games, I think.
Yeah, then you got people that aren't going to buy the NX right away and have a Wii U. They got games to play. Then you got all the people who didn't buy a Wii U, going to potentially be buying the NX. You got to have games to draw them in. So you got to, at some point, they had to draw a line. Say, all right, this Mario team, you guys are going to work on next Mario game for the NX, and they just had to draw a line. I don't think waiting another year. I don't think there's any benefit to releasing the NX in holiday 2017. I just think
this is a good time for your competition's sake because these consoles are just getting started. Xbox One and PS4, they're really just getting started. Halo just released. This is the first next Halo game, and it's been 2 years. They are just getting started.
Yeah, a lot of people say the Wii U needed.
Console, at this point, you be in good shape because nobody's coming out with a console in the next 5 years, at least the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Everyone says, "Oh, the Wii U needed a Zelda in the first year. It needed a Metroid." Right. What has the PS4 and Xbox One had in their first 2 years?
Right.
Like you said, we're just getting Halo. Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider actually looks like a game built for those systems, whereas the definitive edition just looked like an up-res 360 game. 2 years in, and you're finally starting to get games like Battlefront, visually impressive. Assassin's Creed finally looks like visually impressive. And it's 2 years in.
It's just this generation is really just getting started. 2 years later.
So
you drop a console now, you in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
You drop a console in a year from now, I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, because you're talking 2017, the PS4, Xbox One games, they're going to have that extra year. They're going to have that extra year's worth of games, and people are going to be even more familiar with the hardware. And then NX comes in. I just think it's too late. But that's just me. We're not professionals, we're not analysts, but that's just my gut feelings on that. I think 2016 is the sweet spot. For the NX, so it does suck to have to buy a new console, but there's people buying their second PS4s to get special edition versions.
I don't want to hear that shit.
So,
there's people buying $150 controllers.
Yeah, Xbox One $500 bundles when they already had 2 Xboxes that I know, Xbox Ones that I know of.
There's people buying $300 VR headsets, Robert.
Yeah. So buying a new console 4 years later, I just think that's the time. You have to. I don't think they can afford not to. All right, let's see. This is a good question from Blitz Gamer Man. What is all your opinions about the game lineup in general this holiday? So Xbox One, PS4, and Wii U. He finds it funny how people say the Wii U lineup is weak, but the other two consoles don't really have anything special coming out either. Well, come on, it's the greatest launch lineup of Xbox history. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, because Xbox has never been known for good lineups.
Well, it's got Rare. We got Rare Replay.
Keep saying it.
I think we got Tomb Raider. Yeah, they got Tomb Raider next week, actually.
No, but Tomb Raider's also on 360.
They got the ads on TV.
No one's lining up at 360.
They're pushing that slogan. That's their slogan. They show Rare Replay. They show Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
That's so sad.
And Forza 6, the third Forza game in 2 years.
Completely flopped, by the way.
And then you got Halo 5 and Tomb Raider, 2 legit games. And that's their greatest lineup in Xbox history for what? Holiday?
No, they're going to see. You're getting Fallout 4, and you got to count those too. That's what they're counting.
Yeah, but that's not what Xbox shows on their ad.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the rights probably to advertise.
Sony will show that in their ad though.
They're showing, and then they do the whole exclusive to Xbox One. They're throwing out that exclusive word a lot, but their ad literally just shows the 5 games: Rare Replay, Gears of War Ultimate.
You know why though? because they're not paying for advertising for the
Yeah,
other
because
games.
Sony has the rights to.
That's why.
Yeah, if you add in all the third-party games plus Halo 5, Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
it's a lot more impressive.
I think that's what they're trying to say, but it's a little bit deceiving to say
You know.
that.
Yeah, that's nothing new for Xbox.
Because earlier in the year, they showed a trailer or preview of the similar best games around Xbox One, and every game they showed had a gun firing or an explosion.
Nah,
and it
man.
was
Ori and the Blind Forest, a Scream Ride.
they did not show that.
No
Yeah,
comment.
I'm playing.
No comment.
They showed Battlefield Hardline. They showed Halo 5. They showed I forget what else was out around that time. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, you got a decent lineup with your third-party games, but Sony's the one that's advertising those games. So
Yeah.
I really don't think the Xbox One. I mean, it's been gaining momentum, but I don't think.
Well, they shipped 24 million.
Yeah.
So
they shipped that many.
Yeah.
Sold
Well,
like 13.
Well, I mean, technically those are sold because they sold them to retail when you ship them. So they're just not in gamers' hands. But
I'm just wondering.
It's strong. I think it's pretty good. They're doing pretty good on that front.
Yeah. I mean, 2 years in, they're at 13 million. I mean, that's
especially with the way they started. So.
But I don't think. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to keep. I think this year is going to kind of blow their wad this year with Halo 5 and Tomb Raider, and I don't know.
I'm just not seeing the game.
What do they really have for next year?
Right.
They got
they have Scalebound.
Well,
they got Crackdown.
They were talking November for Scalebound.
Yeah.
That's pretty late.
What's the Quantum Break?
Quantum Break. That's going to be Windows 10, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't hear a lot of people talking about that more as what I expected. There's Quantum Break.
What about that one with the cloud? What game was that?
Crackdown.
I don't buy that because what did they have? One user, and it was taking up 10 servers. What if they had?
I think that's legit. I think Crackdown is going to be.
Yeah, but what happens if there's 5 million users on, and one person takes up 7 server rooms?
They got to buy some more servers.
I don't know. I think that the technology is too far off. But anyway, we got 2 more questions, and we're going to be done here. King Grimpachi, this one's actually, I like this commercial. Question. Do you guys feel that Wii U has shown us all of its potential? This is why, although excited for a new machine, I think it's too early.
Well, let me go in this
because
I'm the kind of guy who if I had to pick a year for the NX to come out, I would still personally say 2017 because I still want games on my Wii U.
But do you think he means gameplay potential or just graphically speaking?
I think he might mean both.
I think he means both. Yeah,
I would think gameplay because I mean let's be honest, the gamepad we have like a few games that really take advantage of it.
Yep.
Graphically, I feel like Zelda might be that game. That game that just goes, this is our like kind of like what Skyward Sword was for the Wii. Like that swan song for the console, because I feel like Mario Maker was kind of a good usage as a gamepad swan song kind of game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I see why he thinks there's no reason to, because he feels like there's still stuff in the Wii U you can still do, and I can understand that and I can agree with it.
There's
but
definitely potential left.
But it's just realistically you think, they rather be making a lot of money really quickly than slowly getting a little. Well, okay, this kind of gets into a question. If Zelda U came out, like let's say in the summer of next year, and sold like ridiculously well, do you think that would change their opinion on anything or no?
Nope.
I think it'd be too late in the game. Like if Zelda came out this year and pushed like an extra 3 million Wii U's and was like this huge success. But then
we can talk, yeah.
I think Zelda U coming out even as early as May, I still don't think that's enough time for them to reevaluate their plans, because then the games are probably they're unscheduled to be ready. Whether we don't know, the launch could be it could be 2017. They could be completely thinking.
I feel like, see, me personally, I feel like 2017 would work, depending on how, like, you know how we're saying we're getting one more direct. I feel like if that direct has a lot of 2016 games in there, I could see them waiting another year. But if that direct has like 2 games, and
even if you have, let's say you have some decent games on top of what we know about that kind of fill out 2016. Zelda's going to be bigger than anything we've gotten, but this year it's been kind of stretched out. Like between Kirby, Splatoon, to finally Mario Maker, that's 3 games in 9 months. So you do that for 2016. Then what do you do for the next year until the NX comes out? That's the problem.
Well, that's implying that the NX is going to come out late.
Yeah, but
late 2017.
I mean,
it could come out in January.
You got Nintendo's holiday season is their moneymaker. I don't see them releasing a main home console outside of the holiday season.
But I don't think that's ever going to happen.
They did it with the handheld, the 3DS, and it didn't really work.
It did work. It actually did work. It died pretty quickly right after that.
It was kind of like the Wii U.
It sold really well. It sold really well the first couple months, but then it just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, the momentum kind of got shot.
The games weren't really there, and the price was.
It had almost the same problem. The Wii U had the same problem,
right?
Because the Wii U sold like 3 million in like 2 months or something.
It was almost a mirror of what happened.
Yeah, but let's get back to King's question.
I'm with them. I'm with him 90%. And the 10% I'm not with is the. Read his question again so I can make sure I have it right.
Do you think the Wii U's we've seen its full potential? He doesn't. And you think that I actually dropped the question. But basically he's asking, is it too early, or did they give up on it too early, or something like that?
Okay.
Let me get to that.
That's where I'm not with them. That's the 10% I'm not with them, because I don't think they given up on it too early. Because we talked about this before, about how we think they pushed hard last year, and the console sales barely moved.
Mm-hmm.
They gave their biggest push on Wii U last year, and it didn't happen. And I think that's when they decided, okay, maybe we need to get this other ball rolling a little quicker.
Yeah, I think I made that point because they won E3 in almost everybody's eyes.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8. Hugely popular. Smash Brothers, Hyrule Warriors. They had Game of the Year contenders with Mario Kart 8, Smash, Bayonetta, and barely beat. It was about the same as the year before with just 3D World
and Pikmin.
Yeah.
And that was it. So here's why the Zelda thing. What happened to? We don't want what happened to Skyward Sword to happen to Zelda U.
Mm-hmm.
Skyward Sword only sold 3.4 or something million, because it was basically on a console that had nothing going on when it came out. It came out either too late or too early. I think they should have either pushed it so it also came out on Wii U, so it could have benefited the way Twilight Princess did, or it needed to come out a year early, because the Wii momentum was pretty much gone when that game came out. And you could say it was the controls, or I don't think it was that. I think, and that's another thing. Wii Motion Plus, that was the big game for Wii Motion Plus, and that's pretty much it. Other than Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah, but didn't Wii Motion Plus come out that year or something?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. So that's gonna be the case with the gamepad, I think. If with Zelda U, it's gonna show all this awesome stuff, all the potential that the gamepad is going to meet all the potential, but at the end of the day, it's only going to be one game. At the end of the day, it's going to be 1 or 2 games.
Well, to get to his question, he hasn't had a Wii U this year. Almost every game they released utilized the gamepad way more than
this year. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got Kirby, you got Splatoon, you got Mario Maker.
So in that way, you could kind of say that it's done
right now. I think
in that sense.
I think right now the Wii U is showing its potential.
Yeah, it's showing its potential, but
it's
even
too late.
With those games, but it's too late, right? Even with those games, there's still stuff that I dreamed up that I thought would happen that didn't happen, and it's probably not going to happen at this point. So why squander those resources? Why not take because there is momentum with the Wii U as far as the game sales. So why not take that and with that goodwill you've built and transition over to the NX?
And we gotta remember, we still don't know if the NX is gonna use a gamepad. So technically, we don't know if the momentum from the gamepad won't still carry over. Right. It may still carry over, and we may still get those dream games. Like you could say this, and that would be. I think that would probably be good. I feel like it's kind of like what the Wii was trying to do, but the Wii just never got the finish because the Wii Motion kind of just died with the Wii, with like a few Wii U games using it still. Yeah. Like to me, that's still the optimal way to play Pikmin. That's just that you can't. Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to play. If Pikmin 4 or whatever it's going to be called doesn't have, I don't know if I even want to play it.
Yeah,
I'd play Pikmin 3 with the gamepad.
You can do it, but you just don't want it.
You can drive a car with your feet. That don't make it a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, technically you are driving a car with your feet.
Well, at least 1 foot. that doesn't make it intuitive and great.
But yeah, that's my point. Like, if the NX carries on the gamepad, then it'll be better in the Wii just for that sense in itself. That we'll be able to keep that sense of momentum.
Right.
And maybe if they're able to do like a fusion where like we can have like some trace of the Wiimote. Maybe not in the same form, but something to keep it around so we can still use it for shit. Because people like to complain about, gamers don't have enough options, but then people complain about, why does the Wii U have so many different types of controllers?
It's like, what?
It's like, let me get this straight. You're mad because they gave you like 8 options for fucking controllers? Are you kidding me? People were like, oh man, why would you want to play Smash with the 3DS? What's the problem? You don't have to use it.
Yeah. They want options when it's features.
For stuff they
don't want options when it's control when it actually affects the gameplay. That's funny, but we had quite a few viewers join late, so I just want to reiterate that was just a question from King Grimpachi. We weren't really talking about the NX at all in this podcast, so for those that just tuned in, we kind of. So we got just one more kind of it's not really a question, but it's a good note to end it on. We've all said this before, I'm pretty sure, but he says, don't you guys love it when gamers say Nintendo sucks, but then later on they say they should go third party so that they can play their games, those Nintendo games on their Xbox or PlayStation? It's like, gotta love it.
Yeah, you gotta love the hypocrisy, man.
That's stupid.
Nintendo's irrelevant, their games are for kids, but they should go third party so I can play Mario on my PS4.
You can imagine how good Mario and Zelda would be on a PS4? Like, really? I thought you didn't like those games.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Exposed. So, yeah, that was fun. So thanks for the questions and good discussion, but we're going to wrap this up here and get on out of here. It's been almost 2 hours, so we'll start with the insane game freak.
Man, it's a good podcast. Enjoy these discussions. Go by Fatal Frame, you pieces of shit. Oh yeah, by the way, we got Rodea. Rodea the Sky Warrior comes out next week. I completely forgot about that game.
Not me.
Well, I have it pre-ordered, but I forgot in terms of. And then I saw like the gameplay. I was like, oh right, Rodea comes out.
Is that PS2 looking game?
Yeah, that has the Wii version.
Listen to this Rezo Ho.
I'm just kidding. It definitely looks like a Wii game, but
it is.
It is a Wii game.
If you bought it, if you pre-ordered it, you get a bundle with the Wii game with it.
I think that's
2 separate discs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's multiple discs.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's kind of cool. Well, I hope to God the gamepad one. I mean, the Wii U version at least uses the Wii remote because I feel like that's a game that I want to use the Wii remote and nunchuck with. But
was that what is that?
Versions use it.
What's that inspired by, or the maker of Panzer?
That's like
Nights into Dreams.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Is Nights.
It's Yuji Naka.
Yeah, my nigga.
I told my story about Super Mario 64 at Toys R Us. Well, that same time frame, I think they had Saturn. Was it Saturn that had Nights?
Sega Saturn,
yeah.
They had a Nights demo because they had that controller. They had the analog stick after the N64, and that's the only time I ever played Nights was in that demo at Toys R Us. But
one of my favorite games of all time, Nights into Dreams. Love that game.
Yeah, but that comes out next week. And apparently, I forget there's a 3DS version, so look forward to it. And like I say, life's a game. Play to win.
All right, Robert, you got any final thoughts?
I
love everything.
Really. No, yeah. This Friday, Black Ops 3 comes out, which I'll be getting. I'm excited for it. Not super excited, but I'll be playing it, checking it out how it is. But yeah, definitely buy Fatal Frame, buy Triforce Heroes. That's a very good game. And yeah, enjoy gaming, people, because it's the greatest thing on earth.
Yeah, that Black Ops 3 looking a hell of a lot like Titanfall.
A lot.
Like, it's no shame whatsoever in their copying the mechanics. But Meza T, any final thoughts or anything you want to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's great to be on the podcast again. I wish I was on last week so I could expose all y'all. All you pretendos.
I got second place, so.
That's true. But yeah, go check out my latest video on the NX. NX is that sex. And go check out Terrell's last video, too. I think it's your last video.
Yeah, the Nintendo needs to be
Yeah,
Disney.
I forgot to give it a like. My bad. I'll go back and give it a like. But
yeah, I'm getting a like from Mr. T. I'm moving up, man.
And I just want to say, if you watch Meza T's video, just be prepared. There is a gruesome scene in the beginning involving a snake that, especially for Shelfie, she commented. Because I had told her to watch that video because it was so funny in the beginning, and she's like, "Ouch, that snake!" Like, that must be the equivalent of seeing somebody get kneed in the nuts for a guy.
Oh,
you know?
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So I was like, "That's just."
But the lady was fine. I edited it out the rest of it, but she walked away like
yeah,
a cat.
because it's a python. They don't have those big fangs and the poison like a regular.
Yeah, I was just worried about it popping her, her bags.
That silicone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she seemed fine, so.
Yeah, that was funny. I was laughing pretty good with that one. So, yeah, definitely check out those. I got to watch Terrell's video. I meant to watch it and got sidetracked before the podcast, so I'll watch that. Basically, it sounds like you're just. I don't know if it's a satire or you're being serious.
Just watch it. Okay. I'm not gonna spoil it. Yeah, you'll get it.
And I'm definitely not picking up Black Ops 3. I think for me personally, the best thing that happened to gaming was Activision not putting Call of Duty on the Wii U after Ghosts, because getting that out of my system, like quitting smoking, at first, I feel so much better about my life and just my enjoyment of gaming when I'm not cursing at the bullshit. You know what? It's just like, it's nice not to have that. Like, that's bullshit. Shoot me around the corner. It's lagging. Like that crap. Not having that negativity. It's just so much better to be a gamer and not have Call of Duty to play. So.
Getting called all kind of derogatory names and
yeah, I mute everybody.
The first thing I ever got called online was a nigger. I was like, man, my name is Terrell. What is
exactly? By some 12-year-old kid.
Yeah, it's like, you guys don't even know what that means.
Standing right next to him.
Yeah, you don't even know what that means.
That's the only time I really heard it was some little kid saying. But the best thing ever happened to Call of Duty was the mute all button that instantly mutes everybody. That's all I ever used. So
I know no, Juice. You want to know what the best thing that happened to Call of Duty was? My ability to not buy it because I didn't want it.
Like I said, that was aided by Activision not releasing that. Because I would have bought Advanced Warfare on the Wii U. I ain't gonna lie.
Ooh.
But
oh no.
Because I had bought all of them up to that point. That was the first year I didn't, and now that I got that 1 year out of not playing it, then I'm just like, I don't even think about Black Ops 3.
I was gonna get Black Ops 3 until I saw it look like Titanfall 2. I'm like, nah, man.
Yo, the zombies mode is gonna be awesome, though.
The zombie mode.
Quiet, Robert.
Yeah.
Quiet.
I heard they're moving Titanfall to like mobile.
You guys? Oh yeah, they are.
I like hordes of dumb AI. That's fun. No, I never cared for the zombies. I don't like zombies in general, but that game mode, to me, I don't like horde modes. So
I don't care about the zombie horde mode.
I like horde modes.
yeah, I'm sure you do. So yeah, but yeah, again, Fatal Frame, like everyone else said, it's definitely give it a try. The trial version. Wait, don't judge it on the prologue though, because that's just a quick tutorial, and you can't. It just like goes from cutscene to cutscene. As Red Knight, he judged the whole game on that. He thought it was move 10 feet cinematic, but that's just the prologue. Like it's.
He's prejudiced.
I would say, has he tried it? Does anyone know yet?
He was just in that game a year ago.
Yeah, he saw that, and that's all he saw, and he's like, "No, I'm done," because it looks, and I gotta admit, it does look like a Until Dawn, Heavy Rain type game.
Don't insult Fatal Frame like that.
If you just judge it by the prologue, because as soon as you walk up to a door, then it goes to a cutscene. Then you do this, goes to a cutscene.
Yeah, the prologue is like that. I will.
Yeah, the rest of the game is not like that. There might be, you're like open a door real slowly, and then like there's a ghost, gives you an opportunity to take a picture of like there's all these opportunities.
Some of this stuff is kind of hard to catch if you're not paying attention.
So there's all these opportunities just to take photos of non-threatening spirits and stuff, and that's really the only kind of break in the actual gameplay in the middle of the later, the regular levels. So, yeah, but yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna probably go play some more tonight and enjoyed this podcast. Glad to have Ms. T and Terrell back on. Sorry I had to do last week's earlier and couldn't have you on, but good to have you back. And Robert, I just can't get rid of this kid, so we're stuck with him forever, I think. Yeah, it's always good to have on that guy that loves everything, though. One day we'll have to.
Hated as the rest of us.
So we can relish in the moment when we break him down and make him.
Yeah, one day he's gonna play a game, he's not gonna like it, and we're not gonna be there to. I'm
gonna probably cry that day. All right, I'm gonna be like, I am so proud of you. Mm-hmm. I'm so proud of you for having a real opinion.
We'll see.
Because I think I saw an interview with Hayden Panettiere where she said that she doesn't think it's genuine that people, if they like everything, so.
What? No.
I
love
his heart was broken. He almost died.
I like how he was like, what? No.
I gotta say though, just before we get off air here, a guy I work with, he's late 50s. He's just infatuated with country music, and he thinks Carrie Underwood has like the most amazing legs, and I'm like, I think they're a little too muscular. So I'm looking up celebrities, and I happen to come across Hayden Panettiere. I'm looking for like celebrities with nice legs, and she actually stood out. Like she's definitely got some qualities, Robert.
Of course.
So, I gotta say, I think she's better looking than Carrie Underwood.
Oh, I agree.
Her legs are only 1 foot long. That's a little girl, man.
Oh no!
That's the size of my penis.
Oh no!
That was Mr. T.
I'm about to say, did I not see the 69 in the title? What happened? What's going on?
Hey, I'm just a white boy, so that shit's a lie.
He's working at Chartreux.
Motherfuckers. Alright, we're going to end this before it gets too inappropriate. So
you started it.
Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week on the podcast. I was wrong about my prediction. I thought there'd be a Nintendo Direct last week or before this podcast. I was wrong. So I'm going to say there's going to be one this week.
It's going to be this week. I feel it.
No way.
I feel it.
I think so. So anyway, we'll see you all next week. Peace out.